down the highway doing one-night stands, singing my songs, feeling driven. That's been an easy way to make a hard living. Well, I'm very excited tonight. I have an old friend of mine that's going to be on the show. His name is Billy Don Burns. Now, Billy Don was one of the first people I'd ever went on the road with. I was on a bus with him and Ronnie Sessions, and he was doing military bases, and I mean, it was a trip. It really was. And but I'm happy to have him here tonight on Gig Masters. Let's give a warm welcome to my dear friend, Mr. Billy Don Burns.
Thank you for inviting me, Pooh. This song I had that turned up in a NBC Universal TV movie just out of the blue one day. And I need more Jack Daniels whiskey, Camel cigarettes. They can't hurt my body no more than it did when she lived. Kinda figured out that things ain't never gonna be alright. What killed them country singers, man's been stalking me tonight. When I turn up the bottle, pass out on the floor, wake up with my boots on, now ready for some more. I like to put lights, big brakes on, baby, there ain't nothing I can do. You see, I'm Hank Williams lonesome, Keith Whitley blue. Black Willow's got me caught up in her well. It don't matter what I do, I can't free myself. Cheating heart will kill you, man, no matter what they say. Now I understand that song, we stopped loving her today. When I turn up the bottle, pass out on the floor, wake up with my boots on, ready for some more. I like to put lights, big brakes on, baby, there ain't nothing I can do. You see, I'm Hank Williams lonesome, Keith Whitley blue. Girl, I'm Hank Williams lonesome, Keith Whitley blue.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Thank you, brother.
That. Hank Williams Lonesome and Keith Whitley Blue. Dang. This is called Fire Tire Road. Blanket on the ground, it's where we lay down, making love was the only sound. We sipped our beer and no one cared. Now we were young, having fun on Fire Tower Road. Small town girl and a small town boy, making plans for their brand new world. The love they know would have never grown if they hadn't been around to burn it down on Fire Tower Road. On Fire Tower Road is where we would go, to a special place only we would know. We let our hearts burn out of control. Wouldn't hurt no one having fun on Fire Tower Road. Now the years are gone and the days are few. All that's left is me and you. And I look back at the memories I hold. The best ones are of you and me. Fire Tower Road, on Fire Tower Road, where we would go to a special place only we would know. We let our hearts burn out of control. Wouldn't hurt no one having fun. Fire Tower Road, wouldn't hurt no one having fun on Fire Tower Road. Now we were young, having fun on Fire Tower Road.
Told you to back off a little bit, fool.
Okay, I'll back off.
That's great, man. You did great. I love this guy, man. We've been better. Man, you must have been a kid when we went off on that bus.
We was. I was just a kid. I was jumping in the middle of it. I know that. I was over my head. I jumped in right.
Well,
I jumped in right behind Ronnie Sessions.
That's a hell of a bus we headed out there. And Rogie and Ronnie and Kid on the guitar.
Oh man, yeah, and Chuck Stewart.
Chuck Stewart. God, I forgot about Chuck.
Yeah, old Chuck.
Could snore louder than anybody I ever heard.
Man, and he would go in the dressing rooms. He would go and he'd get in front of the mirror.
Oh, I know.
Let's
see. How about a motorcycle song?
Yeah, I love it.
I'm born down in Arkansas, some records rock and roll. James Dean mentality, Hank Williams in my soul. Just a rockin' little rebel, left the Mississippi Delta in a fall. Headed west to California, wrapped around an old Harley Hall. Freight train, play suicide with me. Cross the tracks so fast you think the devil's after me. Son, I ain't scared of nothing. Danger zone, I get my kicks. Random fever keep me moving. Learned a moving target's hard to hit. Hey, like a speeding bullet, Lord, I shoot out through the wind. Ain't a lot of places I ain't been. Wild lines, far as I can see. Highway has no wind, but that's alright for 4BD, baby, that's alright. That's alright. That's alright. That's alright. Listen to me driving, railroad engineer. When I stop, I'm in slow motion. Come from living in high gear. Son, I ain't got to feel the power. Oh, big old engine man. I'm like a junkie with a habit. Man, I've always got to have it one more time. Hey, like a speeding bullet, Lord, I shoot out through the wind. Ain't a lot of places I ain't been. White lines, far as I can see. Highway has no wind, but that's alright with 4BD, baby, that's alright. That's alright. Ain't no good life, but it's mine, and that's alright. That's alright. That's alright.
Yeah, that's all right.
Thank you,
All
brother.
right. Billy Don Burns. Love that one. Well, I was raised in the backwoods of Tennessee. My papa drank whiskey and I smoked weed. We lived by the cold of the hills. Up on eye, blood is spilled. Do unto others, ye shall be done. I don't call 911. My papa taught me early to protect myself, not depend on no one else. And I know the difference between right and wrong, and tradition is as strong as the law. It's been handed down father to son. 911. I'm a peaceful man, I wouldn't hurt a soul. But let me tell you a little something everybody should know. Don't harm a hair on my wife or my kids. And don't let me catch you slipping in and out my crib. That'll make me go and grab my gun. Son, 911. I don't call 911. I don't call 911.
Graveyard Montgomery. I was on my way to do a gig on the Alabama coast. Meet some folks, make a buck, play some honky tonks. Ain't nothing new, it's the way my life has always been. That hit me hard, I was here to talk with him again. In a graveyard in Montgomery, in a storm. This ain't the first time that I stood here at the graves. Hank and Audrey, not knowing what to say. When I go south on 65, I usually end up here. He OD'd back in 53, so why do I still care? In a graveyard in Montgomery, in a storm. Rain and wind were held to pay, and thunder's deafening sound. I'm higher than behind the dark clouds, lightning crashing down. Pray to God if I get struck, my guitar won't be harmed in a graveyard in Montgomery in a storm. Hank, why do you torture me like you do? Can't forgive the opera, ain't for what they did to you. Standing here at your monument with a needle in my arm in a graveyard in Montgomery in a storm. In a graveyard in Montgomery in a storm.
Billy Don. You know, you told me the story about this one time about when you wrote it and you was at Hank's grave and it was storming, raining so hard that you had about a couple gallons of water in your guitar. It was full of water and you had to just empty it. And I thought, man, that's.
I wrote the first two verses at the grave and it was pouring and this guitar was full of water. But I was on my way to Tallahassee to a gig, and I was talking out loud to myself. I said, "Don't stop at Hank's grave, man, because I've been there so many times. I'm 70-year-old. It's like, what the hell, man? What's wrong with you, boy?" So I said, "Don't." And I was turning in, man.
Right.
And but I'm glad I did because the first time I'd ever wrote a song there.
Well, you know, I wrote a song about Hank one time because I got lost in Georgiana, Alabama, and. Well, I wasn't really lost. Yeah, but you know exactly where it is. You've been there too, haven't you? Yeah, and I had a little black lady tell me that Hank Williams was born up there, and they had a museum. And I went up there, and I've had a couple little Hank touches with one time when I told you when Merle Kilgore. Merle, he was a great inspiration to me anyway, but he knew I liked Hank Williams, and I had played him that Hank Williams song that I had written, and he really liked it, and so he called me up one day and said, "Well, Pooh-Bah," he says, "brother, I've got Hank's nudie suits out in the car, and I have some Audrey dresses." He says, "Would you mind coming up and helping me carry them up to the office, and because I got to deliver them to the Hall of Fame tomorrow?" And I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "I'll be there in about 5 minutes." So I took off down there, and we went in this old Escalade and got the nudie suits out. And we took them upstairs, and I was just amazed that I could even touch something like that. It really was. It's almost like the garments of Jesus. I mean, he was just really... And then, like I said, he had some like sweat on the back of some silk or one of them nudie suits. It was like powder, and I touched it, and it fell off. And I went, "Merle, what are these things worth?" He says, "Well, they're worth billions. I don't know." I said, "Well, I think about $300,000 worth of Hank sweat just got under my fingernails." He said, "Well, you have Hank's DNA under your fingernails now." I said, "Yeah, I guess I do." I didn't wash it for a couple, 3 weeks, you know. But that's amazing to be touched by a writer like that in our age, you know what I mean, in our time, because he really touched a lot of people with his words. And but anyway, I wrote this song. It's called Hank's Song. I went to Montgomery to find inspiration from a hillbilly poet who fell weak to temptation, and in loving memory read his dedication. Here lies Hank Williams, first country sensation, and I'm so lonesome I could cry, and her cheating heart is the reason why. I can't help it, I still love her. It's over and gone. Lord, tonight I'm as lonesome as a Hank Williams song. When the operator soned him, said Hank was drowning in drink. The hurt to his soul, the whole world felt his pain. I've seen pictures of him with a mop in his hands, now doing time for drunk in an Alexandria jail. And like him, I've traveled the lost highway, and I've had to give more than I take. But his words from the heart, they cut to the bone. Lord, tonight I'm as lonesome as a Hank Williams song. You know his words from the heart still cut to the bone. Lord, tonight I'm as lonesome as a Hank Williams song.
Love it, brother.
Thank you, brother. It don't take long once you get on them, don't it?
You know, Johnny Cash is somebody that I had chances to meet him, but never did because, and he was from Arkansas too, you know.
Right,
but
nice.
I went to a Highwayman rehearsal with Willie one time, and I could have met him then. I went to a Highwayman concert with Willie in California one time. I just kind of watched him from afar because I didn't want to be like everybody else, and I didn't know what do you say to Johnny Cash, you know.
I never got a lot of pictures with him. I wish I had.
That little letter he wrote me, he put his address on there, and of course I wiped it out because I made copies of that, and you know, people love copies of that. But somebody that knew him said, "Man, he wouldn't put his address on there if he wouldn't wanted to have met you." And I met June at that California Highwayman concert.
Right.
June and Jesse and me and Hal Bynum had to sit on drum cases and risers. We were like behind Willie, about 10, 12 feet, and then the band started and went on around. So I watched the greatest concert I ever seen was Highwayman, and watched it from their backs.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, God.
Backstage.
And the people went crazy at that Orange Convention Center in San Bernardino, and they finally come back out. And I thought, man, what are they going to do? They bore us out for 2.5 hours of hit after hit, and I'll be down to. I forgot about some of the biggest hits they had, you know. But it was.
They were great because they really were.
But I just couldn't walk up to Johnny, and I just never could think of what I was going to say. So.
Well, I wish I'd have took more pictures with him whenever he was around, you know, because I didn't. So like you said, so many people run up to him with wanting pictures. I didn't want to bother him. But Herbie and John was good friends.
I bet they were.
Yeah, John.
Hey,
I'd love to come see Herbie.
Being here is kind of sacred. Like I know it's part of Johnny. You know, really, that's the way I look at it. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
Anita Carter, man. Wow.
Well, there they are.
But it didn't meet June, you know. So.
Well, you would have loved John.
You know,
He had a great sense of humor, didn't he?
yeah. I've heard that.
Oh, he did. He had a great sense of humor, John did.
Arkansas boy did good, ain't he?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, he is. To me, he's at the pinnacle of it, you know. Anyway, old Cody Jinks recorded this song of mine, and I'd never heard of him. He sold down there 400,000 records.
Yes, he's
Then
great.
he did another one. Wish he'd do one more. I'll tell you that. But he heard this one to record it. My favorite memories, some of my first, like a Sunday night meeting at an old country church. Sometimes my grandparents, they would come and take me to an old country church house down on Gaylor Creek. We all knew our neighbors, everyone there was friends. Preacher worked in the timber like all other men. We were baptized by water, we were washed in the blood. Don't remember much money, but I recall lots of love. That church was a long time ago. I'm talking distance and years. I'm not for certain I could even get there from here. But on nights when I'm sober and not blinded by all that I see, my mind washes up at that church on Gaylor Creek. So many bar rooms, so many strangers, women and whiskey, so many dangers. That old honky-tonk highway, that's the Wild Horse Road. Son, I've seen enough neon to circle the globe. That church was a long time ago. Yeah, I'm talking distance and years. I'm not for certain I could even get there from here. On nights when I'm sober, not blinded by all that I see, my mind washes up at that church on Gaylor Creek.
Yeah, nice. Nice, Billy Don.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir, brother. Hey, Lori. Billy Don told me that your daddy played this guitar before.
Your daddy did play my guitar.
That's pretty
And
good.
I've seen your daddy play that when he stood up in front of and played, you know. Hey, man, be sure and Susan and get where we can. I want to order that book on Don. I don't want a free one. I'm going to order one, you know. I owe that to Don, man. Yeah. Best part of my journey was all the great people I met, man. And what are you going to do, Mr. Football?
Well,
A.K.A. Donnie Mealer or vice versa?
yeah, either one. Well, let's try this. This is a song about indifference. Called Living Outside the Herd. Well, they say this old world is a dangerous place. Stay here among us, you'll be safe. We'll tell you everything you need to know. Yeah, we'll say what's right or wrong in this herd where you belong. I said, that's absurd. I'm living outside the herd. Now I'm living outside the herd. Boy, you better heed my word and can your herd mentality. I'm not into conformity. A die-hard maverick is what I'll be, living outside the herd. Now I'm a man and not a sheep, so I just keep on following me. I can hear the fear behind their words. Yeah, I got my own mind and a good backbone, strong enough to stand alone, take off like a bird. I'm living outside the herd. Yeah, I'm living outside the herd. Oh, you better heed my word and can your herd mentality. I'm not into conformity. Die-hard maverick is what I'll be, living outside the herd. Now freedom's what matters to me, 'cause you ain't living, you ain't free. And I was born a rebel to the bone. So don't fence me in, I need lots of space. Man, don't get up in my face. Here's my final words. I'm living outside the herd. Yeah, I'm living outside the herd. Boy, you better heed my word and can your herd mentality. I'm not into conformity. Die-hard maverick is what I'll be living outside the herd. Now here's my final words. You know I'm living outside the herd. All right, thank you.
This is on the new album in Jersey. He met her in Georgia, lost her in Texas to somebody like him that she met in a bar. He'd only known her the July and August, but he really liked her for sure. Born to ride, born to live, born to die, born to ride. He rode through the Delta, across the Great Plains, the mountains in Denver, thundered on through. Oh, his nights, they were so black and blue. Born to ride, born to live, born to die, born to ride. How could no warrior fall in love with someone young as his daughter and fall for her lines with his heart in a spin, head in a fog, all live in a hole in that old Harley Hawk on a ride. Born to live, born to die, born to ride. One day in California, he took a notion to die on the highway. He's down by the ocean, pulled on the throttle. Run, baby, run. T-shirt, red Sturgis, 1981. Born to ride, born to live, born to die, born to ride. Born to live, born to die, born to ride.
I'd walk for miles just to see you. Wouldn't cross the street to say hello. Whomever loved the least will be the one who's in control. You know I love happy endings. This is gonna end sad. When you love somebody that won't love you back. They say people are the only ones that won't respond to love. No matter how hard you try, you can't change how they feel inside. You know I love happy endings. This is gonna end sad. When you love somebody that won't love you back. When you love somebody that won't love you back. I'm sorry, I thought I'd remember that while I could. Hey, man.
Back off a little bit, Pooh. You make me look bad. No, I'm just teasing. One rode down from Jersey on an old panhead haul. The other rode his shovelhead they met in Arkansas. Engine roared like thunder. Both men rode alone, postured up together, took the western road, crossed into Oklahoma. hit old Route 66. Johnny was a fella, greasy, had a heart to fix. Thunder, some were born to ride. Big old engine whining down the highway through the night. Into California like Santa Ana winds across the great Mojave Desert. Johnny once had been where the dogs smell the kilos, where the feds had found the stash, where the tables turned against him, where they busted Johnny's ass. Knees in the breeze, sun on Grease's face. Panhead was his mistress now, Jersey girl replaced. Thunder, some were born to ride. Big old engine whine down the highway through the night. Then a black and white Johnny knew was CHP. Could only tell in Victorville out on the I-15. Greasy said nothing, never take his friend alive. Johnny winked and nodded as he passed old Greasy by. Papers told like lightning, lit up the western sky when he left the El Cajon. You'd have thought that Hawk could fly. Thunder, someone born to ride. Bill, engine whine, down through the night. Down the highway through the night.